Black Christmas is a Canadian 1974 horror film, and one of the earliest slashers ever made, predating Halloween by several years. It stars Olivia Hussey, Margot, Keir, Dullea, and John Saxon, among others. The film, set during the Christmas season, was directed by Bob Clark, a film director mostly known for another, very different Christmas movie. Now, I'm not here today to review the movie itself, although that would have been fun too. No, I'm here to, as usual, discuss the villain. The antagonist of Black Christmas was played by different actors, all of them uncredited, including a Nick Mancuso and director Bob Clark himself. You see, the villain is never actually shown, not fully anyway. We hear his voice, or voices, throughout the film, but physically he's kept obscured, only parts of him being briefly revealed. We're also shown many scenes through his point of view, so-called POV shots, an early example of this technique being used in a horror film. The identity of the villain is never revealed either, but he does say the name Billy numerous times throughout the movie, and so that is the name commonly used for the character by the fans. Therefore, I will from now on refer to him as Billy as well, even though it's never made clear whether that is his name, or if Billy is someone else he speaks of. So, the film begins on a snowy December evening. We find Billy sneaking outside a sorority house full of sorority girls. He then proceeds to climb up the exterior wall of the house and climb into the attic through an open window. All of this goes on undetected by the sorority girls. Billy hides up in the attic, but soon begins to frequently sneak downstairs to the second floor. There he uses a phone to make rather disturbing and bizarre phone calls to the girls on the first floor. Let's have a listen. The girls have no idea these phone calls are coming from upstairs, from the same house. Between these calls, Billy will sneak down and get one of the girls, brutally killing them off one by one.
Who is it?
So now you know what we're dealing with here. A psychotic serial killer. Black Christmas is one of my favorite horror films of all time. In fact, it's my second favorite horror film, being beaten only by John Carpenter's The Thing. It's the greatest and the scariest slasher ever made, in my opinion. Despite never being shown, Billy is the scariest slasher villain in my opinion. In fact, him never being shown is why he's so scary. We don't know what he really looks like, and we don't know who he is. We also don't know what motivates him. The man is shrouded in complete mystery. Why does he kill these sorority girls? Why did he pick this specific sorority house? Who is Billy? During his incoherent ramblings, he mentions another name too, Agnes. Who is that? We never find out any of this. For all we know, none of it means anything, and Billy is acting completely on random. That is a scary thought. A killer who picks a house to terrorize completely on random. When the villain has motivations for his actions, we understand him, and he thus makes sense, automatically making him less scary. Billy here doesn't make any sense at all. In fact, I can't quite even say that Billy is human. Some of the voices he makes sound so weird and varied, like it's different people talking, even though he's the only one there. Have a listen. Of course, during the production, it was actually different voices being heard, including women and children. So director Bob Clark did this on purpose, to make Billy seem more bizarre and mysterious. One of the most disturbing scenes in the entire movie is when Billy, alone in the attic with his victims, has a complete freakout. It's never explained what it was about or why he had it. Have a look. To me, it seems like the guy is in pain. It's almost as if he doesn't want to be doing any of this. And perhaps he doesn't. Billy is clearly very mentally ill, perhaps suffering from severe schizophrenia. It could be that he's hearing voices, and these voices are forcing him to commit these horrible acts. Maybe he also hallucinates. We don't really know what's going on in his twisted mind, but this scene hints at so many possibilities. Then there's this specific phone call where Billy seems to want to be stopped.
Who is this?
Stop. Oh, God.
This further supports my theory that Billy doesn't actually want to do any of this. To me, that just makes the whole scenario even scarier, and certainly more disturbing. Now, I know there are 2 remakes of Black Christmas. One from 2006 and one that came out just a few days ago. I haven't seen either of them though, and I never will either. Remaking Black Christmas is to me like remaking Casablanca. It's simply in poor taste. From what I've been able to gather though, the 2006 version went in the complete opposite direction by explaining everything about Billy and even showing his origin. If that's true, then they clearly didn't understand what made the original so good in the first place. Even though I haven't seen the 2006 version, I can with confidence say that it sucks. The new remake probably sucks too, and I'm offended it exists. Stop remaking classics, Hollywood. Create new classics instead. If you want to watch Black Christmas, I'm talking about the original of course, then I suggest you do so with headphones and no company, preferably in the middle of the night too. That's how I saw it the first time, and that's how it works best. Black Christmas relies heavily upon sound, not so much visuals. The scares mainly come from the sound design, Billy's disturbing phone calls, and creepy ambient noise. Watching it with low volume and a gang of buddies blabbering away will completely butcher the movie, so don't do that. Actually, most horror movies should be watched alone in the dark with headphones. So there you have it. The scariest slasher villain of all time, in my opinion. Scarier than Michael and scarier than Freddy. They're too iconic to be scary anyway, and Billy here, being as underrated and overlooked as he is, probably works in his favor. Well, as long as you don't watch the remakes, because they probably completely ruin him. Anyway, as always, remember, Arkham Asylum awaits you in the next video.